Ah yes, you know what time it is. It's banlist time. Prediction of course. And first time with commentary too, which is nice I guess. Alright, so where do we start? Alright, let's look at the meta right now. Tier 1, Agents and Blue Eyes. Tier 2, Borrowlink and Shadoll. Tier 3, Performance and Tsunabalon. We can definitely start off with Agents, because gosh, that deck is stupid. But not stupid as Blue Eyes. Now, Agents have been irrelevant ever since they were released till May 26, with a brand new skill that's unfortunately once per turn. Is that not crazy? I mean, you can literally search any cards by fixing up your hand whether you bricked or not. It gives me Onoma to play vibes when it was at its prime. But this deck reminds me of Constellars, but it's on steroids. If they go first, you will be floodgated. You seriously can't beat it if they go first. Only one deck can actually counter it. But I'll get into that later. Anyways, back when I said if they go first, you will absolutely get floodgated. Seriously, this is the only deck that can make multiple floodgates while other decks can barely make one. They can set up a board with Master Player Hyperion, plus Sky Scourge Invincible, plus the Executor of the Underworld Pluto. Not even Darko can save you, dude. And this deck can search Lancia, which is the most popular counter card since it counters half of the meta. And even if they don't go first, they can still kill you. First of all, they play Darko as well, so you will most likely get sacked. Or even if they don't have it, they can force out your interruption just by playing Master Hyperion or Majesty Hyperion. But what makes them more of a threat is that their effects isn't once per turn. If Sanctuaries in the Sky is on the field or graveyard, and once again, I'll say it, the skill is not once per duel, nor twice per duel, it's once per turn. So here's what I believe that needs to be hit. First of all, Sky Scourge Invincible should be a limited one. Now the deck is new, so obviously I don't want to think it should be nerfed badly, but I think it should be nerfed that way. But I'm not done. The next I hope that gets nerfed is the freaking goddamn skill. Now, I don't know how to really nerf it, but it definitely shouldn't be once per turn. I'll be fine if it was twice per duel or even once per duel. But I'm not done yet. Once you activate the skill, I believe the skills should be more restricted, logging them into fairy monsters from the extra deck, because I don't think it makes sense that other archetypes are locked into their archetype or type or whatever. But yeah. Anyways, that probably sounded too much, but at least make the skill not once per turn. I forgot to mention Agents found an FTK variant, so now they definitely need a nerf. Let's go with Blue Eyes. Alright, so I'm curious if this deck is even gonna get touched or barely tapped, because it's Konami's favorite deck, but it's been meta for a while. And it's good because their skill is once per turn, and I believe it's the only deck that doesn't care about the other floodgates. Besides Agents, since they're literally toe-to-toe against each other. And Blue Eyes is also another deck that can be played with so many techs because all you need is one monster on the field to overwhelm your opponent. Now, what to nerf? I have no clue because like I said, it's Konami's favorite deck, so they will probably one-tap it and that's it. But I do believe Heatwave should be limited to 3 along with Spirit of White. Heatwave is literally their floodgate, and it basically makes your opponent lose a turn to even make a comeback. And this affects nothing to Blue Eyes because like I said, one monster is all they need to disrupt your opponent and they can still summon Spirit of White while Heatwave is active. So this already overwhelms your opponent. But Blue Eyes can be beatable, it's not broken as Agents, it's just stupid. Other decks make their floodgate board to stop other decks, but then there's just Blue Eyes. So with that being said, Heatwave to 3 and Spirit of 3 will definitely make them not play Heatwave and definitely not play Crackdown, so I think it's good like that and balanced. Now I don't really care about the skill because it really just reminds me of Eternal Bond. A deck I definitely know people complain badly because of how dumb and brain dead it is. But look at them now, barely even relevant. Alright, so hopping on to tier 2 decks. Let's start off with Rockets. Now this deck obviously got new support. I don't expect it to get hit. However, they do have a floodgate, which is Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. and it works really well with rockets. Plus, they have a good skill which can also be used to search a powerful tech known as Lancia. Now, this deck performs really good against agents, whether they go first or second, because rockets can sack you going second. Or, if they go first, they can just do the Ibly Floodgate, which it honestly impacts any deck that doesn't play links. However, it's not always guaranteed, which is a bit fair, I guess. The only thing that I don't like is that the skill lets you play Cyber's Dark Monsters, and literally the purpose for that is to play Ibly and Claudia, which really synergize really well with rockets and access to Ibly. So either ban Ibly or just don't let them play Dark Cyber's monster. That's probably good for a small tap on the wrist since they're still new to the meta. I hope a third Levy won't be more dangerous though. And if I wanted to, for the third part of the skill, I would prefer to, if a monster is on your field or in their graveyard, return one card from your hand back to the deck, play 1 Link 2 Borrow monster from your extra deck to your field. Just a suggestion, but I don't think that's happening. Alright, so next comes Shadolls. I'm gonna be real with you guys, I don't see this deck getting nerfed. The biggest core cards are literally paywalled. Yes, they have their own floodgate, but it kinda goes against them as well. And the deck can break so bad, and it's slow. And unlike other decks that have super easy access to make their boards, this one is just slow. Now, if I have to predict what it would get hit, I would probably just remove the second part of the skill. So they don't have to use Schism, resummon a window that was returned from the skill to floodgate again. Probably a dumb take, but like I said, this deck isn't really too crazy as the ones we have right now. Now down to the tier 3 spots, let's go with performance. I think the deck is okay, however it's the skill that probably needs a nerf. Not too harsh. Now either make all of the effects of the skill once per duel, or for the third part of the skill, just make them shuffle a performance monster because its current state it abuses itself with mind control. I will personally make it once per duel for all effects, but no limits on any card. Now lastly, Sonabulan. Meh, this deck is too new for itself and the meta. Now is there any cards I would want limited or just gone? Yes. Summon Breakers should be limited to 1. This card should definitely not be played with Master Flare, and I guess Sky Strikers as well if they ever come back again. Now I'm curious if Phantom Knight even needs a nerf since it's not meta, and it's pretty much making the same downfall as always when they reach tier 1 so they get more support. People will probably say Ophion back to 1, or rank up Magic launch to 1, or even Boast to limit 1. But personally I think it's okay to be untouched, because techs like Lancia can literally shut them down. Now I don't think any other decks needs to be nerfed because the current meta barely even makes them breathe. Now the final question here, because honestly I've been wondering what you guys think. Should Lancia be limited? It is the most popular hand trap right now. Some say limit it to 3 or have it untouched. Because this card is so powerful and so good for the current meta because half of the decks needs to be banished for something. Now time for the buffs now. I don't know what the heck is going to be buffed, but I do have a wish list. First, let's hope Konami gives Cyberload Fusion and Overflow back to free. Sidra is really needed since Konami doesn't want to give them support and it's unfair for them currently. Free the Cocytus. We have stronger techs now that can out it, so I hope they have a chance to be playable. That's probably it for my wish list. Now skills? Let's see. Ooh, Spell of Roses. Since Phantonas got one of their skills back to how it was, why not do the same with Black Rose? Surely they won't do anything. And I'm sure Akiza would love to be in her prime once again, especially with Moonlight around. And that's probably it, ladies and gentlemen. If you watched this far, I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments what y'all think of my predictions. I want to hear your predictions too. This was fun to make, so until next time, see ya.